Take a moment, flip a switch. The room fills with light. Plug in your phone, your laptop, your TV. Power flows effortlessly from a hole in your wall. This simple magical act is the foundation of our entire modern world. And for over a century, we've been taught to thank one man for it, Thomas Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park, the all-American hero of invention. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? What if I told you the system that actually powers your home was a rival technology that Edison considered so dangerous, he waged a bizarre, vicious, and very public war to destroy it? A war of ideas that involved stray dogs, the first electric chair, and the public execution of a circus elephant. This isn't just the backstory of the light in your room. This is the story of the war for the soul of the 20th century. Our story begins in the 1880s. Thomas Edison is on top of the world. He's not just an inventor, he's a celebrity, a brand. And his brand is direct current, or DC. It's safe, it's reliable, and it powers his magical new invention, the incandescent light bulb. He's built a DC power station in the heart of New York City, and the rich and powerful are clamoring to have their homes lit by his genius. Edison's vision is a DC generator on every city block. But there's a problem. DC is weak. It can't travel more than a mile without losing most of its power. It was a brilliant solution for a single neighborhood, but a terrible one for powering a nation. Enter our second character. A man who wasn't a celebrity, but a visionary. Nikola Tesla. A brilliant, eccentric Serbian immigrant who arrived in America with 4 cents in his pocket and a head full of ideas that seemed like science fiction. Tesla didn't just see the future, he saw it in flashes of lightning. And he knew the future wasn't DC, it was alternating current, or AC. A system that could transmit immense power over hundreds of miles with very little loss. The two men were a study in opposites. Edison, the pragmatic businessman who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Tesla, the poetic dreamer who said, "I don't think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men." Naturally, when Tesla went to work for Edison, they clashed spectacularly. Tesla tried to explain the elegant superiority of AC. Edison dismissed it as dangerous and impractical. Tesla, frustrated, eventually left and found a backer who understood his vision, the wealthy industrialist George Westinghouse. And with that, the battle lines were drawn. On one side, Edison, the most famous inventor in the world, and his safe, limited DC empire. On the other, Tesla and Westinghouse, the challengers, armed with the powerful, world-changing potential of AC. The war of currents had begun. Edison, realizing he couldn't compete with AC on technical merit, decided to compete on fear. If he could convince the public that Westinghouse's current was a deadly, uncontrollable monster, he could win by default. He launched one of the most vicious smear campaigns in the history of technology. His associates, under the guise of electrical safety, began a traveling roadshow of death. They would pay local children 25 cents for every stray dog they could find. They would then hold public demonstrations, building a stage, bringing out a dog, and electrocuting it with a high-voltage AC generator, all while a horrified crowd looked on. The message was simple and brutal. This is what will happen if you let Westinghouse's current into your home. But Edison didn't stop with dogs. When New York State was looking for a more humane method of execution than hanging, Edison saw a golden, gruesome opportunity. He secretly funded and promoted the development of the first electric chair, and then relentlessly campaigned to make sure it was powered by Westinghouse's AC generators. His plan was to so deeply associate AC with state-sanctioned death that the public would be terrified of it. He wanted people to hear alternating current and think of the electric chair, a process he morbidly suggested they call getting Westinghoused. The peak of this bizarre and cruel campaign came in 1903 at Coney Island's Luna Park. Topsy, a circus elephant that had killed 3 men, was set to be executed. Edison's film company was there to capture the event. They fed the elephant carrots laced with cyanide, attached electrodes to her body, and sent 6,600 volts of alternating current through her. Topsy, the elephant, was killed in seconds, all to prove a point in a corporate war. But while Edison was busy killing animals, Tesla and Westinghouse were planning to win the war with a display of pure, undeniable genius. The battleground would be the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, a grand celebration of human achievement. It was to be the first all-electric fair in history, and the contract to power it was the prize of the century. Edison put in a bid, but it was astronomically high. Westinghouse, using the far more efficient AC system, came in at a fraction of the cost and won the contract. Edison, in a fit of pique, refused to sell Westinghouse any of his light bulbs. So, Westinghouse and Tesla simply invented a new, better one from scratch in a matter of months. When the fair opened, the world was stunned. The City of Light was a breathtaking spectacle. Hundreds of thousands of brilliant AC-powered bulbs turned the night into day, reflecting magically off the grand white buildings. It was a vision of a clean, bright, and powerful future. It was a triumph. The final victory came at Niagara Falls. The plan was to build the world's first great hydroelectric power plant, a project that would define the future of energy. After the success of the World's Fair, there was only one choice. Tesla's AC system was chosen to harness the power of the falls and send it all the way to the city of Buffalo, over 20 miles away, a feat that would have been impossible with Edison's DC. The war of currents was over. AC had won. The ripple effect of that victory is the world you live in today. Every time you plug something into a wall socket, you are tapping into the legacy of Tesla's AC system. Edison's DC was relegated to batteries and the inside of your electronic devices. Tesla's dream is what powers our global civilization, and yet, their personal fates were a perfect irony. Thomas Edison died in 1931 as a national hero, holding over 1,000 patents, a very, very rich man. Nikola Tesla, the man who had won the war and truly electrified the world, died broke and alone in a New York hotel room in 1943. So we are left with a final, lingering question. Edison's name is synonymous with invention, but it's Tesla's genius that flows unseen through the walls of our homes. The world remembers the hero, but it runs on the system he tried to destroy. Who really won? And did history get the story right? The battle for our future was fought not with armies, but with ideas. What do you think? Did Edison go too far, or was it just business? Let us know in the comments. And for more stories of the brilliant, bizarre, and often brutal backstories that shaped our world, subscribe to The Backstory. Next time, we explore the shocking story of the man who won a Nobel Prize and also invented chemical warfare.